I love reading cookbooks. And so my library is really great because I can go and check out a whole bunch of cookbooks, find wonderful recipes, and it gives me an opportunity to look through the book and see how much I like it before I decide if I'm going to buy it to add to my collection or not. I have 3 here that I wanted to go over with you to share my thoughts. And given the season of the year, canning seemed to be a good place to start. So I have 3 canning books. The first one here is Can It, Bottle It, Smoke It, and Other Kitchen Projects. And it's by Karen Solomon. This book was one that I really enjoyed. This is definitely one for those who are more DIY in the kitchen, really wanting to do more than just a straight up canning. And I will share with you that the different sections of the book, because there are quite a lot of chapters here. And that's just this 2-page spread. And then we have this 2-page spread. So the different sections are jam it, spoon it, stalk it, pickle it, bake it, stalk it, STALK. Those are all about corn. Roast it, hunt it, smoke it, munch it, sweeten it, milk it, slurp it, and freeze it. And there's just a few recipes in each section. I will share that the pictures are absolutely lovely. And Karen Solomon is a wonderful food writer. I really like how simple and direct her instructions are. This carrot almond jam on this page actually caught my attention. It looks really delicious and sounds like a great way to be able to use up extra carrots. She shares that it came out of a failed recipe for Passover candy, but it sounds like it would be a great condiment for a lot of different things. She does use some unusual ingredients in here, like quince and that sort of thing that people may not be familiar with. She also gives instructions on how to make your own apple pectin if you are not someone who is going to want to buy pectin. It is possible to make it yourself. In the, I believe this is the stock it. In the stock it section, I found a recipe for Worcestershire sauce. And so this one is definitely a keeper. I'm someone who is allergic to seafood, and traditional Worcestershire sauce has anchovies in it. So that's no bueno for me. And now it turns out I can make my own, which is a really good thing to do. There's some other really fun projects in here, like cakes in a jar. So if you were making a cake, you could put it in a jar. I would encourage the use of wide mouth jars in order to be able to get it out easily. But that could be a really fun way to do that. And I can see how using these instructions, obviously you would want to make it the way she recommends the first time, but you could then use that to modify for other potential cake recipes, which would be great. As I mentioned, the stalk it was all about corn. And then in the smoke it section, there's a lot of smoking for different things like almonds and cheeses and that sort of thing. She's got a lot of snack projects in here as well for little snacks, including crunchy lentil snacks, which sounds really delicious. I have had chickpea snacks before, not had lentil snacks, but now that I'm looking at it, it looks really easy to make. So again, that looks like another keeper. And then in the beverage section, there is a recipe for a British style ginger beer. So overall, I would say that this is a really lovely book with a lot of projects in different cooking modalities, beautiful pictures, simple instructions, and definitely worth looking at and seeing if that's something that appeals to you or if there's some recipes in there that you would like to have. The second book that we have is The Art of, sorry, I should hold it that way so you can see the whole cover. The Art of Preserving and Ancient Techniques and Modern Inventions to Capture Every Season in a Jar. And this is by Emma Macdonald. One of the things that I like about this book is she does have a great troubleshooting section. Hold on, trying to get there. So she's got a whole troubleshooting section where if things are not going right, you can look up the answers and see how you might be able to address that or make changes for that. This is a little bit more condensed in terms of how many different types of things she is addressing. We have jams and marmalades, jellies and curds, conserved and bottles, conserved and bottled, chutneys and relishes, pickles and sauces, candied, cured, dried, and potted. So lots of different things. And I found these recipes to be really lovely, really inviting. And so beautiful pictures. I really do enjoy seeing pictures in a cookbook. And I also love when an author shares some serving suggestions here. This one, for example, says that this classic jam is good for serving with vanilla ice cream or a hot custard, goes on tarts, that kind of thing. So it's just really lovely. And the instructions are very straightforward. This particular cookbook does include both metric and American measures. So if you happen to be someone who uses metric, you'll be able to make these recipes as well. I know that can be a frustration for a lot of people if they have to figure out how to convert, and sometimes that doesn't always work out very well. I did find that in the jellies and curds section, she had a lovely assortment of curds. Most of us tend to think of curds as being just like a lemon curd. And she has a number of beautiful curds in here, including passion fruit, raspberry, coconut curd, tangerine curd, berry ginger. So it was really nice to see these different curds and how the suggestions that she gives for how to use them or how to incorporate them. Another part of this book that I found, another recipe that I found in here that I liked was in the, and challenging because I did not mark the sections. I just marked the recipes that I wanted. Conserved and bottled section. She has a recipe for fresh figs in Manuka honey. No picture with this one, but Manuka honey is certainly a wonderful thing, very delicious and very good for your immune system, especially when you're ill. I had not thought of preserving in Manuka honey, but I really like this idea and I'm sure it would be absolutely delicious. So I do want to try that. And then she has a pickles and sauces section where she had a number of different things. I specifically liked this balsamic onion recipe. And I think that this could be such a great little side dish if you're doing a charcuterie board or if you're having a really lovely meal as a condiment on the side. Also, a sweet pickled beetroot. I do love beets, and sometimes when they all come into season at once, it's hard to know what to do with them. So this looks like a wonderful recipe to be able to use them and preserve them for the future. In the condiment section, we do have a mushroom ketchup, which looks very interesting. And I think that this was another really wonderful book, a little bit more array of old-fashioned type recipes, but modernized and very delicious looking, beautiful pictures, very easy to follow instructions. And I really liked how she breaks down the preparation time, telling you what's going on, how long it takes to mature, if things need to be marinated. The instructions were very clear and very well done here. So this is another really good book, and I'm glad that I was able to get it. And then the last one that I have here is Put 'em Up Fruit. And it is a preserving guide and cookbook, creative ways to put them up and tasty ways to use them up. This is by Sherri Brooks Vinton. And one of the things that I really love about this book is all throughout the book are ways to use the things that you're making. She does also have a very good troubleshooting section in here and some really lovely fun pictures. But for example, She has instructions for making apple cider vinegar, and then these are ways to use apple cider vinegar. So once you're making something, there are other things that you can do with it. And having those instructions here in the book is really lovely. She has a recipe for a blueberry ketchup, which sounds really delightful. I think I'm definitely going to try that this summer. And then gives a recipe for sweet potato oven fries and suggests pairing those with the blueberry ketchup. So that seems like a really wonderful suggestion and very easy. Then we have instructions for things like how to make your own vinegar and instructions for making a classic vinaigrette. There are also some recipes in here for the traditional things, peach jam and orange curd, that kind of thing. There is a recipe for a wine jelly, which is lovely. And then a plum and prune conserve, as well as instructions for how to make braised short ribs with it. So I really enjoyed the colorfulness of this book. It was a delight to read, as well as all of the use it up suggestions. There are a number of kitchen how-tos in here, some hacks and tips to make it easier for you. And again, I think this is a really great book for anybody who is interested in making preserves, or even interested in going through this book just to learn some great ways to think outside the box for how to use the preserves and condiments and things that you already have. This is definitely a really good book to include. So the 3 books that we have today are Can It, Bottle It, Smoke It by Karen Solomon, The Art of Preserving by Emma Macdonald, and Put 'em Up Fruit by Sherri Vinton. Definitely good books. I would encourage you to check them out of your library, and if you love them, buy them, because having books like these is always a good thing to have in your pantry for your cookbook collection, for understanding how to make food, and for finding really delightful ways to flavor what you're making for yourself and your family. Thanks for watching.